Basically, Haas is the newest team. It's 10 years old, but it's still the newest team. It's the last one which got into it. And it operates basically Haas has got about 200 people, while Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, they've got about 800. Even if there's a budget cap now, there is still a difference. You're limited how much you spend. And almost all the teams are at the limit of that budget cap. Maybe some are 10 millions below. It sounds a big number, 10 million, but in F1 it's not a big number, 10 million, you know. So, but the history of the big teams, you know, is just so much different. They've got so much more experience. They've got so much more data. Their infrastructure is so much bigger. It's just so much more evolved, the big teams. So therefore, the small teams get always beaten. And the big teams, what they have to their advantage is they have got their own engine. They're an engine manufacturer, while the small teams, they go and buy the engine. So having your own engine, it is an advantage in F1.
And the money that it would cost to, like, let's say you and I wanted to start a team, a brand new team.
You have to pay for it because I haven't got enough money. You know? Don't ask me for anything, you know.
What would we need money-wise to get a team?
Hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions.
Wow, is it? Hundreds of millions you need. I mean, at least $500 million to get going you need. Otherwise, you cannot get started.
Okay, I'm out. I tell you,
I told you from the beginning, I don't even want to know about it. You know, so.
Now, the thing with Formula One, I always think as well, it's like a bit of a drug, I would imagine, if you're in that world. So now you are a big celebrity, flying around the world, telling your stories. But it is great. It's great. Like currently, Guenther is doing an evening with Guenther. So last night you were in Warwick, Coventry, and then you've got a night off tonight, and then you are off to Southampton, and then Guildford, and then Edinburgh, all the way to Scotland, and Newcastle, and lovely. And then next April, Guenther comes back again to do the Unfiltered tour.
Yeah.
And you are playing do you not love your family anymore? Is that,
when I see this one, I'm scared. I'm scared seeing that paper. Yeah, I'm doing that one, but in the moment, it's very successful. The tour, we sell out, I would say, 90% of the theaters, which is pretty cool, and people like it. So, we come back and do more next year.
But it's great. It's great for the Formula One fans, which is why, like for Dominic, Dominic got into Formula One from watching Drive to Survive. It made him want to watch.
Yeah, and I used to watch a bit of it back in the day with sort of Damon Hill, Michael Schumacher and stuff. But yeah, so I've seen you on Drive to Survive. So now Chris has been giddy all morning, haven't you? Because, that's your favourite.
Hi, Gene.
It's
I've
your
been saying that all day.
It's your favourite TV show.
He's asleep now. He's in California.
I imagine you get spotted when you're walking around and stuff to you. And that's obviously from that show.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's weird for you, isn't it? I would have thought.
In the beginning, it was very weird, because I'm not used to it. I never did this to get this notoriety, But now it's weird, but it's part of it, and you just get used to it. It's one of those things in life. You just have to deal with it.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So Guenther, he wrote a book called Unfiltered, which you can get, and that's proved hugely popular because of Guenther's knowledge of Formula One and engineering, and also the fact that you tell a very good story. And also you come across, as a lot of people in Formula One do, it's a very strange sport to me. Everybody seems quite genuine from the outside looking in. Everybody's all rooting for the same thing. There's some people seem nicer than others. There seem to be some baddies in the sport. Boo! It's like a panto. Do you know what a panto is? Do you know what that theatre show is?
No.
So you have heroes and villains. Okay. Some would say Christian Horner is a hero. Some would say he's a villain.
Yes.
Big personalities. But it seems to me that most people in the Formula One world actually get on with each other.
Yeah. Normally you get on because it's a circus, a family which travels around 24 weekends a year, which is a lot. There is thousands of people. So, obviously there is people you like better, people you like less, but there is, I think that you really have issues with people. It's not happening because it cannot happen. It's like just normal life, like living in a village which is traveling around the world. It's the same thing,
Yeah.
Some of the guys you like better, some of them you're a little bit more indifferent to.
Who are your favourites? Give us some of your favourite people in the world of Formula One.
I would say my favorites are Mattia Binotto, Fred Vasseur, and Toto Wolff. They are my favorites. I mean, I get on also with Christian, but with them I'm normally in contact as well outside of racing.
It just fascinates me. It fascinates me. It really does. And we had Sebastian Vettel on the show.
And Lando and Oscar, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll come to them in a minute. But yeah, and Sebastian, I was saying to him, it looks like a great job. It looks like a great life. However, I see the work that the drivers have to do. You know, like at Silverstone, it's not unusual. Well, I saw them. The drivers on the back of a truck waving as they get driven around. You don't see players do that. They don't drive football players around the car park waving at people parking the cars. No. It's a very unusual sport. And he said, most of my life is travelling. He said, a tiny amount of my life is actually racing the car. It's a tiny part of my job.
Absolutely, and where you're right is like you don't see tennis player, for example, before a game going out there saying hello to the fans and now they're sitting in there and focusing. That is very. They are very in demand, these drivers, because obviously I guess it comes from people think they're just driving a car.
Yeah,
you know, but they are athletes in the end. They need to be fit. They need to be focused. But I think they're also trained from when they come up to the lower series to do this, so they can do it. Otherwise, an athlete couldn't do this because before you need to perform, you need to focus. You know, and they are there. National anthem into a racing car, off you go, racing at 360 kph.
What a life.
That's
it's crazy.
It's very fast.
When you look at McLaren, especially in the last couple of months, they seem to have just flown up. And you know that's because of us, right?
I didn't know that, but now I know. I will tell everybody. I know.
It's entirely due to us. Yeah.
So what did you do with them?
They came into the studio, the two drivers, Oscar and Lando. They sat right there. It was just before Silverstone this year. Yeah. And since they came into the show...
Boom.
It's literally, it's worked like that, yeah.
It's me.
Yeah. So what is going to happen with me when I go out? You know?
Absolutely.
They're going to pull you back into the world of Formula 1.
I don't want to.
You ain't out. You ain't out.
No, I'm not out.
You'll be back.
Yeah.
You and Sebastian Vettel will be both back within 2 seasons, I'm telling you.
Yeah. All right then, yeah. If I ever come back here, you know.
To be fair, well, look at this tour. You don't have time to go back to... This makes Formula 1 look like a part-time job.
Exactly, yeah. You're right on that one,